All right, guys, how's it going? As promised, I'm going live for a second time today. I just took enough time to get a little bit of chow and try to hydrate myself. But for those of you who don't know me, I am Michael Ehline. I've been practicing law for about 20 years. Presently, I do personal injury, catastrophic injury claims, but I have a background in civil rights, criminal defense, and appellate law. And I actually, when I was thinking about this, I actually used to work when I was first starting out to make extra money, I did contract law. I had this crazy Israeli dude that I worked for. Man, he was just crazy, like one of these clothing guys where they buy shipments of clothing back and forth from China and under the uniform and the California Commercial Code. And so I was constantly embroiled in doing litigation for him and in a little bit of business law. So I did several cases involving negligent and intentional interference with contractual relations. And so this show that we're going to do today is going to cover some of that. And I also did a bunch of research on forensic hacking. And this show is about my buddy Chille, who had his channel hacked last night by some low-life scumbags. And we're going to find out who these dudes are. 100%, we're going to find these guys. But last night, Chille DeCastro from Deletelawz had his channel hacked, and somebody was streaming gay porn on his channel. And I did a bunch of research, and I found out that this is not exclusive to him. This has happened to other people. So I'm going to do some reaction videos to that, and I'm also going to explain what the law is. Hey, what's going on, Let's OTVO? Good seeing you, Chad. And right, what's the matter, you? Good seeing you guys. Grateful Dabs, Chad Senior, Thomas Rockhold. Good seeing you guys. Age Go. I got all my homies here. Right on, guys. Jody Shiloh. Love having you guys all here. So I'll go for a little while. I'm going to go see Gladiator tonight. I know I told you guys a few days ago I was going to see Gladiator with my wife for our anniversary, but it was totally sold out. So we bought tickets in advance. And so after the show, we're going to get to see Gladiator 2. And as most of you guys know, Gladiator 1 is like my favorite movie. I used to be Star Wars, but after seeing Russell Crowe in Gladiator, I never got Commander of the Armies of the North, husband of a murdered wife. What a cool movie, man. Wow. Super awesome movie. Give me a bunch of ones for the original Gladiator movie. Man, that scene at the beginning when he's fighting the Germans with the arrows flying, the fire arrows. God, what a freaking amazing movie that was. Anyways, I did send Chille an invite to join us tonight to pop in, but he doesn't need to pop in. I'm just going to cover with you what I learned and what I know from being a litigator with hacking, because I've hired forensic hackers in the past to go in and find people who are hacking my clients, and we always found them. Every single time we found them. That's why I know we're going to find the people who did this to Chille. Without question, we're going to find these guys or girls, whoever they are. I'm assuming they're dudes, probably like a former associate. We already have our suspects. As you guys who saw his channel last night, you probably noticed, like most of the people in the chat were people that never are in any of Chille's chats. Think about that. They could have been sock puppets, but sock puppets also can be traced. Don't think that you're safe because you're using a VPN or some other methodology of trying to get in, because you can, we'll figure it out. Anyways. And what's the matter with you? We're gonna talk about all that stuff. But the first thing I want to talk about is the law. So typically the way this works is the people who did this to him know that his channel is the way that he makes his income. It's his livelihood. So, and he's in California. So what I did is I did some research on California regular tort law, as well as I'm also covering the federal and state stuff as well, not just the tort law. So the first thing I want to tell you, well, you know what? Let's do this. Hold on a second. we'll discuss the law in a minute. Let me share with you. Let me share with you the first thing. Give me 1 second, guys. While we're all joining the channel. All righty then. Here we go. All right. So here's the message. Chille says, we were hacked. Sorry that people are so weird. We agree that was super gross. And it was totally gross, man. Like, it was just basically like dudes with like the police flag, you know, the blue line, doing just nasty stuff that just is gross. And it could have been like somebody trying to market their gay porn, right? To where they could make sales. We see that happen a lot. I had one of my websites hacked years ago where people were, they hacked into it and they were uploading Cialis advertisements to try to sell Cialis, because there was a time when my website ranked #1 for pretty much everything on Google. And so what a great way to try to advertise your product, right? Just like inject a bunch of your Cialis ads into a website that ranks #1, and you can try to get money that way. So that could be the case, guys. That could be the case that somebody was trying to market their porn videos through a channel that has almost 1 million subscribers. But my gut instinct tells me it's somebody who has it in for Chille. Like, you know, who knows? Maybe somebody on the Nevada Police Department, right? It could be, right? Because Chille won his case and made the Nevada PD look pretty stupid. But there's so many people that Chille has bested. You know, so many people that could come after him. But the good thing is forensically, you can find these people. Even if they use a VPN, there's ways to find them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to share with you some stuff that I found about stuff that's gone on in the past with hackers. All right. So you can kind of learn about like how it happens, why it happens, and so on and so forth. So let's start out with the first one. This is where ISIS got hacked with gay porn, right? So this could have been the CIA for all I know, but because they're the best hackers in the world, right? Let's check it out.
Of an anonymous hacker posting porn on ISIS accounts. And in the midst of the commentary, I said that they should specifically do gay porn, because many of the people in ISIS are obviously vehemently anti-gay. And as we've learned from history and studies and some anecdotal evidence, people who are massively anti-gay usually are gay themselves, and they're struggling with this toxic brainwashing ideology that was pumped into their head from fundamentalist religion. So today, I learned that they're doing gay porn. So I don't think, to be clear, I don't think I had any effect on this. It's really not that hard to piece it together where you go, no, isn't it better to put gay porn on their accounts than straight porn? I don't think I affected it, but it is funny that I mentioned yesterday that they should do gay porn instead of straight porn. And then later in the day, actually, I saw that they did that.
Hold on, guys. I lost it for a second. Don't worry, I'm not hacked. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it back for you.
Posted to the accounts with any effect
Keep
on
listening.
this. It's really not that hard to piece it together where you go, no, isn't it better to put gay porn on their accounts than straight porn? I don't think I affected it, but it is funny that I mentioned yesterday that they should do gay porn instead of straight porn. And then later in the day, actually, I saw that they did that. They were like, yeah, let's go with gay porn. Gay porn seems better. So Haaretz reports here, a hacker affiliated with the hacktivist collective Anonymous, who uses the online moniker Watchilla Ghost, first began hijacking pro-ISIS Twitter accounts several months ago. The hacker decided to replace ISIS imagery posted to the accounts with rainbow flags and pro-LGBT messages. He said, I did it for the lives lost in Orlando. Original pro-ISIS content on the hacked Twitter accounts was replaced with messages such as, I'm gay and proud, and out and proud. A link to a gay porn site was included in some of the hacked accounts, although no explicit images have been posted. So that's interesting, because the hacker also went on to explain here, quote, one thing I do want to say is we aren't using graphic porn, and our purpose is not to offend Muslims. Our actions are directed at jihadist extremists. Many of our own group of hackers are Muslim, and we respect all religions that do not take innocent lives. To which I respond, What a regressive. No, that's perfect. This guy's 100% right. He's saying, look, we're not going after all Muslims here. You know, we're fine with peace-loving people in all the different religions. We think the religions are wrong, but we're fine with peace-loving people in the religions. So we're not putting floppy dicks all over the place, which, by the way, actually was my suggestion. They're just going with gay phrases, out and proud. Hey, here's a link to a gay porn website. Hey, here's a rainbow flag. Hey, I'm going to tweet solidarity with the gay community, even though this is an ISIS account. That's the fucking way to go about this, man. I mean, this is trolling to perfection, if you ask me. And one of the best.
Okay, so anyways, you can see that it's possible, it's happened. We see that it happened with ISIS, where somebody was doing the whole gay porn thing with ISIS. And so now I have this other one where we're going to talk about how YouTubers are getting hacked and some tips on how to avoid it happening. So this is a pretty interesting video. How do you YouTubers get hacked, and 3 tips on securing your account. So this is important, guys, because if it could happen to Chille, it could happen to any of us. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine just before this started. It could happen to any of us. So let's get into it.
Are using new tactics to get into accounts, but there are some really important preventative measures that you can take as you are watching this video, like follow along to protect your account, whether you upload videos or you just log into your account to watch them. See, attackers use several different attack vectors to get access to a YouTube account. So taking one step to minimize risk is not really going to work. It's kind of like locking your front door, but you leave your garage door open. One door doesn't work, it's locked, so a thief would try another door and they would just walk in through your garage. The same thing goes for online accounts. You can use different passwords all day long, but if you download malware, then you're still going to get owned. So here are 3 major steps that you can take today, broken down with recommendations to protect your account. I'm super excited because this episode is in partnership with Yubico, and you will see why this works so well as one of the steps that you need to take. I will be using a desktop browser to show you everything in this video. Let's go ahead and start with locking up your YouTube account. Now, a YouTube account is generally associated with a Google account, and we are going to assume that the Google account login is a Gmail email address. You can see what email address you use to log into YouTube by clicking on your profile picture in the top right corner and then clicking on settings. This page will load and it'll show you what email address you use, and it will have a link to your Google account settings page. So click on that link. This is where you will have full control over your Google account. You want to make sure this account is all straightened out before we move on, because if this Google account gets hacked, then somebody could have access to your linked YouTube account. Let's start with the personal information page, the personal info page. Scroll down to the password setting. Now, if you are reusing this password somewhere else, like it's the same password you use on your Twitter account or something as well, go ahead and change it right now. Change it to something long, use multiple words, use symbols, letters, and numbers, etc. I have done many a video about passwords that you should use as references for generating a strong, complicated password. And I also talk about how to use a password manager to store and protect your passwords so you don't have to worry about forgetting them. Next, click on the security page. This page will give you a security checkup. It's a quick look at all of your security settings for this Google account and potential threat vectors you might want to close. Those are your garage doors. Now, this page is where you can check where you are signed in and how you are signed in. So from the top, we'll go top to bottom. We have 2-step verification. After this video, check out my recent videos about 2FA to get a really in-depth explanation on this, but the TLDR is this. You know how sometimes you log into a website with your username and password, then it prompts you to type in a 6-digit code that was sent to your phone number. You got a text message. That's 2-factor authentication. It's a second step in the login that verifies you are who you say you are past the password step. So it's a second step. 2-factor. That way, if somebody has your password, they would also need that 6-digit code to log in. You want to enable 2FA if it is not already turned on. This is so important. On the 2FA page, you can choose how you receive those codes. So the first option I would recommend is using an authenticator app. Without getting too much into the nitty-gritty, because there's a lot I could go over with just 2FA codes, this first option will generate codes inside an application on your smartphone, rather than sending them to you via text message. Now, we already know that people can steal phone numbers and get text messages redirected to their own
That's
phones.
wild.
This
That
is
is
called
wild
SIM
to me.
swapping. So to prevent that from happening, you can use an app installed on your device to get the codes instead. Better yet, they work even if your phone is offline. So if you can't get text for some reason, you can just open the app and get your code that way instead. Generally, authenticator apps all work the same, though some do come with extra bells and whistles that you can pick and choose from depending on your needs. I recommend Authy or Google Authenticator. Both are free, both are cross-platform applications. When you first download the app, it won't have anything in it, so you need to pair it with your Google account and any other accounts you want to set up 2FA with. Now, to do so, you go over to your Google account in your browser, hopefully on your laptop or on your computer, and choose Add the Authenticator app and follow the on-screen directions, which will usually tell you to open the Authenticator app on your phone, click plus to add a new account, take a photo of a QR code that shows up on your Google account settings page, and voila, that's all you really have to do. Now, anytime you log into your Google account via a new computer, you will need to enter a code that's generated in this app. That code will change every several seconds, which means that you will need to have that phone with that code in order to unlock your account. Now, the bad part of these codes is that they can be stolen. If a malicious actor can see that code, whether they're spying on you over your shoulder in person, like at a coffee shop, or they see it on your phone specifically, or you accidentally type that code into a malicious website that looks like a legit login page, it could be stolen. You do have to be very careful about where you type these codes in and make sure to never, ever hand them over to anyone. Even though they change every few seconds, it's still so important because that's all the time that an attacker would need to steal one of those codes. So we do have some alternatives. So the first alternative is Google. Google gives you the option to have a prompt set to your phone that asks you to verify a login. And this can be used as a second factor as well. But if you choose to use this option, you need to be aware of a problem called 2FA fatigue. If you see these kind of prompts pop up on your phone, you need to make absolutely sure that you are the person who's trying to sign in before clicking yes or verify on your phone screen. If you just click yes, just to get the pop-up off of your screen, or if it keeps on popping up and eventually you get annoyed and you just hit yes and you don't know why it was there in the first place, you could be authorizing another person to sign into your Google account. 2FA fatigue sounds like one of those things that you would never fall for, but this has actually been used in recent attacks against really big corporations, and employees are falling for it. Now, the absolute best 2FA protection is using a security key, like this one. This is a YubiKey. It's a hardware key that replaces the need to type in a code. All you have to do is sync one of these keys with your Google account, so anytime you need to log into your account on a new machine, you will have to also plug in this device to that machine to tell it that you not only know your password, but you also hold the key as well. Now, YubiKeys are highly recommended for content creators since 2FA codes can be stolen. When you use a YubiKey with your Google account, you don't see any codes pop up on the screen. You don't have to type in any codes. It does not put any codes out onto the web page as you log in. Instead, it uses a special handshake set up between the website and the physical key. So all you have to do is touch the key right there to validate that it's actually in your possession. If an attacker tries to get you to log into a fake spoofed YouTube website that's not actually youtube.com, the YubiKey is not going to work because it won't recognize the website when it authenticates with that handshake. That means even if an attacker steals your username and your password, they would get stuck at the 2FA page because I'm assuming you have not given them your hardware key. I have a bunch of YubiKeys because I have purchased my own throughout the years. They have no subscription fee. You buy it once, and then you can use the same key for any websites that support 2FA via hardware keys. And you only need to use it whenever you need to re-authenticate or re-log in. So that means that you don't need to use it every single day on your normal machines. But if you get a new phone or a laptop, you will need to have your key ready since your Google account is not going to recognize this new device. That prevents attackers from logging into your account on a new device too. Now, if you're worried about losing your key, and side note, this is a Lightning version, so you can plug this directly into an iPhone, you can grab yourself a second one and set that one up on your Google account too. And they don't have to be the same one. So you could get one that's USB-C and one that's Lightning, and then you can store the secondary one somewhere safe. I actually highly recommend that you do this. That way, if the first one gets destroyed or lost or stolen, you can log in with your secondary key, revoke the primary one that got misplaced or lost, and you still have access to your account. Even better, I have a coupon code just for my viewers. Use the code Shannon Morse for $5 off any YubiKey 5 series or security series purchase. Huge thank you to Yubico, not only for keeping us more secure online, but also for hooking up my viewers with a very sweet discount code. Now, what happens if you lose both of your keys or your phone with your Authenticator app? This is where backup codes come into play. These are 8-digit codes. They are different from the 6-digit 2FA codes that's generated in an Authenticator app, and these can be used to log into your account if you lose access. You get 10 different codes, and if you end up using them all, you can refresh and create 10 new ones, but each of them can only be used once and then it's burned. So you only get 10 tries. You will want to copy these codes and store them safely. If for any reason you lose your 2FA key or your codes, these backup codes are your last resort to get into your account. So print them out, keep them secret, keep them safe like Gandalf says, and don't lose them. Now, would you like more in-depth information about 2FA hardware keys? I've got tons of videos linked down below on everything you need to know to choose one and why they work so well for account protection. Other things to check in the security page are like revoking and removing any old devices that are currently signed into your Google account.
All right, so I just saved this link to the sidebar to the chat for you guys to watch the rest of it. But you get the idea. There's ways that you can be hacked. So now let's get into just really quickly. I'm going to discuss what the legal repercussions are if somebody tries to do this to you. All right. So first thing we're going to talk about are the civil and criminal repercussions. All right. In this particular case, my legal research is based on if somebody tries to attack your channel with gay porn, because that's what happened to Chille. So, and we'll do it both federally and state. So hacking into any computer system, including a monetized YouTube channel, carries significant legal risk to the person doing it under both federal and California state law. And since Chille is in California, we presume, I'm going to talk about California law, and also because I'm a California lawyer, and I'm assuming he's not in Texas. So we'll cover California law. So first of all, we'll get into the federal law. It's called the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, the CFAA. That's the first one that I want to teach you guys about. So the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. What's up, Age Go? Good seeing you, man. Hacking under 18 United States Code Section 1030 basically says that unauthorized access to a computer system like a YouTube channel could lead to serious charges ranging from misdemeanors to felonies. All right. So think about that. Like if you're going to mess with someone's YouTube channel, you're looking at potential felony charges, guys. Like whoever did this is freaking like somebody who's willing to go to prison. That's the first thing you got to understand. No joke. No joke. Prison. Penalties can range from fines and imprisonment of up to 1 year to 20 years, guys. 20. Somebody risked 20 years in federal prison to do this to Chille. All right, think about that. For any type of offense that involves damage to national security or commerce, and in this case, we know that Chille has a monetized channel, and this is his livelihood, right? Teaching people about government accountability is Chille's livelihood. So think about that. All right, so that's the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, and that is under 18 United States U.S. Code 1030. So I'm going to drop that really quick for you guys, just so you can look it up yourself. Give me 1 second. Take a look in the chat box there. 18 USC 1030. There you go. Go ahead and Google it. And then the next one is going to be just good old fashioned copyright infringement. All right. Copyright infringement. So if the hacking results in the unauthorized distribution or creation of copyrighted content, like videos, for example, that gay porn video, whoever shared that, unless it's the actual company that was, who made the video, which I doubt, right? Because I doubt they're going to want to be hacking into some cop watcher's channel. That's not going to get them anywhere. That would result in a unauthorized distribution or creation of copyrighted content, and that could lead to a civil lawsuit for copyright infringement under Title 17 of the United States Code. And in that particular case, there's civil penalties, right? And those civil penalties are going to include statutory damages per work that's infringed. So I don't know how many, because I only watched like 2 seconds before I got physically ill. But typically the statutory damages can range from $750 to $30,000, with willful infringement potentially resulting in damages up to $150,000 per work. Now, we have to assume the guys who did this are probably like these lowlifes that sit around and take a sip of alcohol for a super chat for their audience, right? So they probably don't have that kind of money, but that could potentially result in up to $150,000 per work infringed. But there are also criminal penalties, right? And we know that the criminal industrial complex, these guys are going to love to putting someone like this away, right? And that could be pursued if it was willful and if it was done for commercial advantage or private financial gain. Like, let's say these guys were paid, right? Let's say these guys were hired by one of these frauditor channels to hack into Chille's account. That's a big deal, guys. Now, let's get into the California stuff. Now, under California state law, under Penal Code Section 502, and I'm going to drop this in also for you guys, for all you bad chickens who want to learn the law. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Mary Jones, he got hacked in last night by someone who was playing gay porn on his website. Somebody hacked into his site and started playing gay porn, like gay cop porn. And so I'm talking about the penalties that these people could be facing for doing what they did. I'm trying to give you the law because I'm a lawyer and that's what I do. So that could typically, under California Penal Code Section 502, if someone knowingly accessed a computer, which would also include YouTube, all right, they're looking at criminal misdemeanor charges that can include fines of up to $5,000 or up to 1 year in county jail. But a felony charge, and in this case, it could be a felony charge because, kids watch Deletelawz, right? So there's, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, watching some gay porn. It's not public school where it's legal, right? This is YouTube, so it's a problem. But felony charges could result in fines of up to $10,000, imprisonment in state prison for 16 months, 2 or 3 years, or both a fine and imprisonment if the act causes damage exceeding $5,000 or involves personal information theft. And in this case, look, if Chille's channel had been taken down, because I think that was their goal. Their goal was to get him charged or hit with some kind of a YouTube violation where it would just instantly be taken down, and all that work would have gone down the tubes. And I think that's what their goal was. So that's a potential issue that could have come up. And look, this channel still could get taken down. We don't know. I'm walking on eggshells, man. A lot of those people could have reported him because we know there's a lot of malicious people on YouTube who just don't like people like me and Chille, who would do anything they can to try to hurt us because they get a kick out of trying to hurt people. That's what they're all about, right? Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. So civil remedies in California. Victims of hacking in California can seek civil remedies. This includes compensatory damages for losses incurred due to the hack, which could cover the loss of revenue, reputation harm, or costs related to mitigation efforts, right? So if Chille was paying me, my average attorney's fee of $500 to $600 an hour to do this show to try to save his reputation, then he could sue to get that money. Injunctions as well. The court could issue an injunction to prevent further unauthorized access or to remove the distributed content. Luckily, he was able to get it taken down quickly. So, but still, an injunction could still be in order. Hey, Jody, good seeing you. I hope they get caught too. Content-specific repercussions. So content moderation and discrimination. There have been lawsuits claiming YouTube unfairly targets or discriminates against content creators based on sexual orientation. But YouTube says that it doesn't. That doesn't really apply here. However, there's additional considerations like privacy and COPPA. Although not directly related to hacking, if the content involves minors, there could be implications under the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. And so here, if kids were watching that, there could be an issue, like I said earlier. But it's more like if it was a channel that was built for kids and then somebody comes in and tries to do drag queen story hour. I mean, well, oops, unless it's a public school, that could be a problem, right? But if it's a California public school, they'll probably give the guy a presidential medal of freedom for jiggling around half naked, dressed like a woman in front of a 3-year-old child. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Now, reputation and contractual issues. Beyond legal repercussions, hacking into a channel to upload inappropriate content like gay porn could damage the reputation of the channel owner. And that's what I'm seeing here. That's what I think is really going on, is they're trying to damage Chille's reputation. And so that's pretty much that. And then I have another video that I want to show you guys how to catch a hacker for doing this kind of stuff. This is more up my alley. I want you guys to watch this next video and let's see if we can find a way to catch these people. I would sure love to see these guys burn in hell. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
So all the best
blankets next
out to your premium account or friend. Consider to Blinkist down.
So obviously, like most of my friends, most people that are like computer guys are using a Mac. So keep in mind that a lot of the stuff he's saying, this looks like it's more PC specific. So there's no silver bullet, guys. I'm just showing you that after what happened to Chille, look, he could have lost everything. So, keep this in mind if you have a relatively, even if it's not successful, any kind of a YouTube channel, you should be aware of what's going on out there. Let's keep going. I'm boring you guys. I'm learning a lot, but I'm not the most technically proficient guy. So hopefully Rami's around and he can explain this stuff. He's more the computer dude, but so far, some of the stuff. Yeah. So I shared that. For you guys in the chat box. So look, not like a super, crazy cop watch show, but I just wanted to share this with you guys because it happened to Chille. It could happen to you. There are some ways to be able to stop these hacks from happening. Now, originally, I wanted to have a buddy of mine who's an expert witness that I've used in a couple of court cases come on and discuss how we catch these guys. But we can still do a show in the future and talk about that. But there are plenty of ways to catch these hackers who try to hack into your YouTube or, whatever, program that you're using. And I'm confident that we'll find the people who did this to Chille. He doesn't seem to be making a big issue out of it. He's kind of making light of it. But like for me, it's a big deal because he could have lost everything. When you look at YouTube and their rules, clearly that was, streaming something like that into your channel is a violation of their guidelines to the point where it could warrant just having your whole channel taken down. So I don't know enough about what happened. Even if I did, I couldn't share it with you unless you gave me permission. So with that being said, does anybody have any questions before I call it a night? So what's the matter? You says, I found in the advanced settings, you can turn on the feature that makes links in the chat work. Hey, that's pretty cool. And then Rami's asking if that's phone or PC. That's true. I noticed that I have more features with my YouTube channel on my phone than I do on my desktop, which is kind of weird. But I don't know if you guys have noticed that YouTube is favoring vertical chat and use of handheld over desktop and laptop. They're really all about the phone. The phone is the big deal now. We know that over 80% of internet users are accessing the internet on phones, not their regular computers. So that's something that you should know about as well. And let me see what else. SWE Observer says that he liked the guy. I shared the link so you guys can check it out for yourselves. Hopefully you guys like the show tonight. Again, it wasn't a big one. And if you guys want me to do something more cop watchy tomorrow, I could probably sneak away and do something like that for you. It seems like the better times for me to stream are around 4:30 to 5 Pacific. That way I get some of the people back east. But feel free. I know several people wanted me to cover some stuff about cop watching and government accountability operations. I have a show that I think I want to share with you guys tomorrow. I just discovered that airports finally have decided, and I don't know why, there could be a court case involved, but we're going to get into it tomorrow night, I think. Civil asset forfeiture laws at airports. Airports under California, under state law, under federal law, our airports apparently are not going to be trying to steal your money anymore. So that's a beautiful thing. Give me a bunch of ones for that. And so I think that tomorrow night we can do a really cool show about civil asset forfeiture laws at airports. But if you guys have any other cool things you want to share with me that you want me to discuss, and again, anybody who has people who do t-shirt silk screening, even if maybe we could work a deal where I cut them in on some of the profits or whatever. I really would like to get some cool Team MPE t-shirts with pictures of our founding fathers on them with little quotes and stuff like that to help build the channel. And everybody make sure to like and subscribe to my channel and double tap that screen too, because, I survive off donations and people who buy copies of my ebook. And so if you want to learn about how I became my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, you can buy the digital version of my book, the digital version of this same book from me by going to my homepage and clicking on the description, dropping down and going to PayPal, $19.99. And that really helps support my channel a lot. And it makes me able to come on and do more of these cool shows and share my 20 plus years experience in law with you, answer questions, and just have a good time. Keep you from having to go to PMSNBC or Communist News Network to get brainwashed with programming. And instead of learning about cool things from people and getting some engagement in the chat box. And I really love seeing all these members, guys. I love seeing all those private first class chevrons. All my members get a private first class chevron when they buy a membership. And I appreciate all the super chats and the super stickers and people buying memberships for me to help me build my audience and build my channel. And I appreciate it when you save these videos too. Always make sure to save, because when you save, it really gives me a nice algorithmic boost with the search engines, helps people find my channel more. Let's OTVO, thanks for showing up today. SW Observer, thanks for coming. Tiene Bliss Abismos, thank you for showing up. And my friend from Venezuela, muchas gracias, amiga. Oh, look at this. SW Observer member for freaking 5 months. Since Lance Corporal. I guess I'm going to have to upgrade you guys to Lance Corporal chevrons. I thought that my members were getting private first class on there. I got to figure out why it says Lance Corporal, but okay, you're a Lance Corporal with a PFC chevron. I guess Team MPE private first classes have the same rating. I guess you guys are E3s, but with a PFC chevron, I guess. So give me a bunch of ones for my PFCs that have the rating of a Lance Corporal, my E3 PFCs. And Life Under the Microscope. Oh, yeah. Ixiomara Pacheco. Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto. And, I feel bad for you being in Venezuela and that communist country. I feel terrible for you. SW Observer, I feel bad for you, too, that your country, your government flooded your country with jihadis that are hostile to your religion and your culture and your people. And I'm hoping that the World Economic Forum will get tarred and feathered, and Bill Gates and all those people who are funding that, trying to destroy the European culture, will end up getting run out of town quickly enough. And that somehow or another, the people in your country and the women in your country will start understanding the joy and the duty of motherhood, so you can start getting your population count back up and start rebuilding what you're a rich and amazing culture, again, my background, my father was Swedish, my mother was Norwegian, a little bit of German, a little bit of Scottish, but the Swedish heritage is the one that I value the most, because obviously boys favor their dad. So jag älskar dig, SWE Observer. Even though jag talar inte svenska, which means I don't speak any Swedish, but hopefully I said it with a good accent. But my grandma Helena spoke perfect Swedish, and was really, really cool. Cool upbringing, gotta say. And let me see, what else do I got here? Life Under the Microscope, Copser 5150. We missed you earlier, brother, but hopefully you know what's going on. Chille got hacked, and we're just doing a show trying to talk to you guys about how not to get hacked. And then I think tomorrow night I'm going to go live and do a show about civil asset forfeiture at airports and how it looks like it's over. So people that carry cash, I guess, aren't going to have their money seized by Big Brother anymore at the airport. We'll see. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to go over the law with you, and we're going to get into it a little bit tomorrow night. But I really appreciate y'all showing up. Rami, thanks for all your help. And yeah, what's the matter you? The Swedish babes. That's right. I remember ABBA when I was growing up. They were the coolest. Super, super cool. So it was. So Copser 5150 saw it then. Yeah, it was pretty shocking, bro. Like, I literally got sick to my stomach, man. I'm just a traditional guy. I don't like seeing two dudes getting it on with each other. Apparently in California public schools and their libraries, they think that's totally acceptable. But then again, that's why people like me left California, and most people who love their children have fled California. So don't assume that we all support Gavin Newsom. Most of us think he's a scumbag. And most of us believe that the reason why there's a single party system is because illegal aliens vote, and they manipulate voting machines, and that there is no voter ID. So that's why most of us think because how could anybody in their right mind vote for the BS garbage that Gavin Newsom has wrought upon the people of California? I mean, it's just disgusting, the stuff that this guy's done. And the public school system is basically, in my opinion, controlled by a bunch of perverts. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. There shouldn't be tampon machines in the boys' restroom. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all showing up tonight, and I'll try to give you a better show tomorrow night that's more cop watchy and more what you're used to. But I felt like it was super, super important to talk about what happened to Chille last night, because he could have lost everything. And I care about the guy. I feel, when somebody is willing to go to jail for what they believe in, those are the kind of people we need to be supporting. An army of sheep led by a lion is a powerful thing. An army of lions led by a sheep is not. And Chille is a lion. And I'm not saying you guys are sheep, but I'm just saying that we need leaders who are lions. And Chille has proven himself, as far as I'm concerned, and he's got time and grade as somebody who deserves his place as a government accountability activist. And love him or hate him, guys, he's one of these guys who has led the way, like the Rangers, right? Rangers lead the way. Chille is like the Rangers of government accountability. I don't care what anybody says. We should all be supporting his channel, and we should definitely be trying to do whatever we can to continue supporting his channel by making sure that we don't get hacked. So if you didn't catch the whole show, go back and watch it from the beginning. Learn about the hacking that's going on YouTube, finding ways to obviate and avoid it. And, we'll go from there. And Let's OTVO, thanks again for supporting me and Chille and you and Brick. You guys are freaking outstanding, awesome people. Thank you, F. And Justin Knighton, man, all you guys are so cool. What's the matter? You got his freaking private first class chevron going on. I just love it when you guys get memberships. I love seeing that Marine Corps chevron, man. It motivates the crap out of me. So Copser 5150, Life Under the Microscope. Thank you guys for showing up. Salt Shaker, all you guys, thanks so much. And again, Tinieblas Abismos, thank you again. I love seeing all my members. I can't believe how many members I have, guys. I mean, I literally have over 100 members now, and I've only had my channel for like about 6 months, and I've got like 18,000 subscribers. That's, to me, is just like a totally unbelievable. It motivates me to keep coming back. It's like, wow, Mike, people actually like you. So it's really cool to see you guys. So anyways, with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Semper Fi, do or die. All right.